Los Angeles weather is clear, temperature 72. We expect to make our 4-hour and 18-minute flight on schedule. We have enjoyed having you on board and look forward to seeing you again in the near future.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
To the right. If you wish to
because
pass,
a vision
please do so on the
softly
left.
creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the
Please hold
vision
handrail
that
and
was
stand to the right.
planted in
If
my
you wish to
brain
pass, please do so on
still
the right.
remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone,
Stand to the right.
narrow streets of
Please do so
cobblestone,
on the left.
neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light,
Please do so on the
split
left.
the night and touch the sound of silence. And in the naked light I
Please hold
saw
handrail and stand to the right.
10,000 people waving
Please do
more,
so on the left.
people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Who said I, you do not know? Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words,
Attention, please.
like
Parking in this area is limited to 3 minutes only. Please do not leave your car unattended.
the sounds of silence.
The so-called Hill House affair, which in a way was almost more notorious. This was 1967, and it led to scenes the like of which I, for one, have never seen on a racecourse. Hill House is third, and Albanella's just behind these, and then comes Get Stepping over the second last, and it's Hill House who's jumped up to take the lead here from Celtic Goat is in second, then Beau Caprice is third, Get Stepping is fourth, and now Albanella is fifth as they run to the last. And Hill House streaking away, he's striding away, he's going to jump the last well clear. Hill House is going to jump it clear from Beau Caprice, and then comes Celtic Goat and Get Stepping, but he's only got to jump the last to win, and Hill House coming into it now. Hill House and Josh Gifford, he's over clear, and Beau Caprice is second, and the crowd are booing as Hill House runs towards the line. He's streaking home now. It's just a question of how Hill House is going to win from Beau Caprice, who's going to be second. A close thing with Celtic Goat, but Hill House is the winner. A close thing for second between Celtic Goat and Beau Caprice.
Kit making ground towards the outer, but Talgo Abbas is the leader. From Saucy Kit towards the outside. Then Albanella on the inner. McEldow and Aurelius coming there with a good challenge. They're coming to the final flight now, and it's Saucy Kit on the stand side from Talgo Abbas, then comes McEldow and Aurelius, Albanella and Interosi, and it's Saucy Kid who's hit the front as they run up towards the line. Saucy Kid is the leader from Talgo Abbas second, then comes Aurelius third, McEldow 4, Albanella 5, racing up towards the line, and Saucy Kid is going away from Aurelius in second place. It's going to be a near thing. Saucy Kid just holding Aurelius, and at the line Saucy Kid's the winner. Aurelius is second, McEldow is third.
David Nicholson deputised for the injured Willie Robinson on Millhouse, while the diminutive Stan Mellor was on the Little Grey Stallbridge Colonist for Ken Cundall, with the ever-popular Terry Biddlecombe on Woodland Venture for Fred Rymel. And as we join them, Millhouse leads at the top of the hill.
Another open ditch, this. Millhouse is down there. Millhouse a faller, and he's left Woodland Venture in front. Woodland Venture is the leader. They're coming to the next, and it's Woodland Venture, the leader from the Grey Stallbridge Colonist. On the outside is Dormant. Then comes Dickie May, then What a Myth, still plugging on behind him. They've got a long run now round the final turn, and as they come to the turn, it's Woodland Venture from Stallbridge Colonist, Dormant, Dickie May, and What a Myth not far behind him. Into the final turn now, and rounding it, And as they come to the second last now, it's Woodland Venture from Stourbridge Colonist towards the stand side. Dorman Watermith still trying to get on terms with them. Woodland Venture and Stourbridge Colonist stride for stride there. It's Terry Biddlecombe and Stan Mellor. Terry Biddlecombe the champion on the far side on Woodland Venture. Stourbridge Colonist the grey on the stand side. And it's Stourbridge Colonist on the near side. Woodland Venture on the far side. These two, Watermith moving into third place at the last now. Stourbridge Colonist touches down first. Woodland Venture on the far side. It's going to be a tremendous race between these two as they race up towards the line. And here comes Watermith to challenge them. It's Woodland Venture and Stourbridge Colonist. Watermith racing after them. Woodland Venture just holding Stourbridge Colonist, but Watermith is getting to them with every stride at the line. Woodland Venture's the winner. Stourbridge Colonist is second. The champion jockey and Woodland Venture getting a great ovation.
Get in line, facing the captain.
You're gonna get used to wearing them chains after a while, Luke. Don't you never stop listening to them clinking. 'Cause they're gonna remind you of what I've been saying. For your own good.
Wish you'd stop being so good to me, Captain.
Don't you ever talk that way to me. Never! Never! What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. And I don't like it any more than you, man.
This was the weather. What a day. These were the losers. And these were the winners. Bob each way punters, hundreds of on-the-nose backers. Well, it just wasn't their day. If only they'd known. Somewhere there was Foinhaven. No form, no chance, they said. 100-to-1 winner. Even Kirtle Lad must have been more in the running. But it was Foinhaven with the biggest odds for 20 years that was to be first home.
They're off, and they're running, and Principal in the centre, and Foinhaven and Kirtle Lad and Rutherford's are the first to show.
At 100-to-1, Foinhaven not only produced the longest price national winner of the television era, but also one of the biggest shocks in the race's entire history.
They're on the inner, and as they cross the Melling Road, Rutherford's Lucky Domino, Principal, and over on the far side, Kirtle Lad, we join our country cameras and Bob Haynes.
And now to the first of the 30 fences, and Castle Falls is disputing it with Penvalgo and Principal. Those three jumped it together, and Barberin right up between them as they jump the first, and they're not all over because Bassnet is down, and Meehan Valley is down, and Popham Down has fallen. Those three are the fallers at the first. The leaders over the second. Penvalgo over from Barberin, then Principal on the inside of Castle Falls. Then comes Capino. Then comes Kirtle Lad, Rutherford's Lucky Domino, and April Rose. And now over the third, that's the open ditch. They're running on to the fourth, and it's Principal and Penvalgo from Rutherford's, Barberin and Kirtle Lad, and over to Michael O'Hare.
And as they come to this next fence, Castle Falls on the outside, and in the centre, Principal and Penvalgo. The Fossa not far behind these, Dunwitty just behind them too, as also is Barberin. Coming now to this next fence, which is the fence before Beechers. It's Penvalgo, who's just a leader with Principal, and then closely follows Barberin, Dunwitty, the Fossa, different class, Capino. These are all in a group together. Lucky Domino along the inside with Rutherford's. Coming now to Beechers. They're just approaching Beechers now with Penvalgo, the leader. He's just ahead of Principal, and then comes Barberin, Dunwitty, Lucky Domino, Rutherford's, Castle Falls, and all over so far. A bad mistake there by Principal, but he got over it all right, and they all seem to be over Beechers all right. And turning now towards this next fence, the fence after Beechers, it is Penvolgo who leads from Principal. Rutherford is next, then Dunwitty, Lucky Domino, the Fossa, Rondetto. Then on the far side is Barber, and then Castle Falls. Capino comes next, then Ozzy, Harry Black, Leedsy, Freddie, then Quinton Bay and Norther. These are the leaders as they go over the canal turn, with Penvolgo the leader from Principal, who's being followed along on the inside by Rutherford's. Then Dunwitty. Castle Falls is next, and on the far side of Castle Falls is Barbron. The Fossa, different class, going smoothly. Just behind them is Rondetto and also Capino. And as they go now to this next fence with Penvolgo the leader from Rutherford's, I hand over to Michael Smith.
And Johnny Lehane giving Penvolgo the most wonderful ride. He's giving him a wonderful view of all his fences. He's over first. Rutherford's made a bad mistake there. Quintin Bay and Barbrin and Principal are up with the leaders, and Castle Falls on the wide outside going very well, and I can see John Lawrence on Northern not far behind the leaders as they come to this next fence, and Kirtle Ladd is going up to join the leaders. I'll try and give you the order as they come up to the next. It's Principal and Rutherford's from Kirtle Ladd, Castle Falls, Penvolgo, the Fossa, Stan Meller giving a great ride to the Fossa. He's only a length behind the leaders as they go over the next. Capino made a slight mistake there. Freddie going very nicely on the inside, about 12 lengths behind the leaders, and David Mole having a quick look round on his shoulder on different class. He's only about 6 lengths behind the leaders, but with Principal and Kirtle Ladd and Rutherford's, the 3 leaders as they recross the Melling Road at Anchor Bridge back to the grandstand.
Principal, Kirtle Ladd, then comes Rutherford's. Castle Falls towards the outside, then Rondetto, then Quinton Bay. Barbron is right up with them. Penvolgo, then different class. And they're levelling up to come to the next now, with Principal disputing it, with Castle Falls towards the outside, Kirtle Ladd on the inner, then Rutherford's, then Rondetto just in behind them, and then comes different class. Just in behind different class is Quinton Bay. Norther there on the outside, and as they jump this one, it's Principal just the leader from Castle Falls, Rutherford in 3rd place, then comes Kirtle Ladd, then the Fossa. Just behind the Fossa is Capino, with Quinton Bay towards the outside, then Norther, then Barberin, then comes Game Purston, and Castle Falls on the outside, right up here with Principal. Then Rutherford's on the far side with Kirtle Ladd, then Rondetto, then the Fossa, then Quinton Bay, then Capino, then Norther, then comes different class, Leedsy. Behind Leedsy is Greek Scholar, and as they jump the chair, it's Castle Falls on the inside, then Principal, Rutherford's on the far side, and then Kirtle Ladd, and these 4 just ahead of Rondetto. Then comes the Fossa. Behind the Fossa is Capino, then Greek Scholar, then Quinton Bay, and then Leedsy and different class and Norther, and then comes Penvolgo, and then Kilburn and Freddie. Behind Freddie is Lime King, and then Barbron and Ossie. Behind Ossie is Harry Black, and then on the inside, Red Alligator with Game Purston and Lucky Domino and Solbina and What a Myth. And behind What a Myth is Honey End, and then comes Bobber Job. Behind Bobber Job is Tower Road, and then comes Steel Bridge, then Scottish Final and Packed Home, and then Foyne-Avon, and behind Foyne-Avon is Ross C, and behind Ross C is Dunwitty, and Ariel is just jumping the water. He's about 2 furlongs behind the leaders, and now it's Kirtle Ladd on the inside, Rutherford's on the outer, then comes Principal, then Castle Falls, then Capino. Behind Capino is Rondetto and Greek Scholar, and that's the order as they go to the next to be rejoined Bob Haynes.
This is fence number 17, and there's still an awful lot left standing, and the loose horse jumped it first, but right up just in behind that is Kirtle Ladd, Rutherford's, then Principal, Castle Falls, Capino, Rondetto, then the Fossa, then comes Greek Scholar, then comes Leedsy and Norther and different class, and after that Quinton Bay. Now on towards fence number 19, the open ditch again, and it's Rutherford's from Kirtle Ladd on the inside. Then comes Principal, then Rondetto, who's going terribly well, I think, at the moment. Then comes Castle Falls, Greek Scholar, Leedsy. Then comes Quinton Bay and different class and Barberin, and on to the next plain fence, 2 before Beechers, and over to Michael O'Hare.
And it's Kirtle Ladd along the inside, Principal in the centre, Castle Falls out on the outside with Capino just behind him, the Fossa just behind these 2, and a different class moving smoothly with Rondetta, and Norther is just behind the leaders too. Castle Falls on the extreme outside now is just the leader over this, and as they're heading now towards Beechers for the 2nd time, it is Castle Falls with Principal, Capino, Rondetto, Rutherford along the inside, the Fossa, Northerner, then Kirtle Ladd and Greek Scholar together, and here they are at Beechers and over Beechers. The loose horse is over in front. He doesn't seem to interfere with anything. Rutherford's lost a bit of ground there, but he's all right, and they're turning out of the fence after Beechers, and as they do, the leader is Castle Falls, with Rutherford's along the inside, and Rutherford has been hampered, and so has Castle Falls. Rondetto has fallen, Principal has fallen, Norther has fallen, Turtle Lad has fallen, the Fossa has fallen. There's a right pile up. Leedsy has climbed over the fence and left his jockey there, and now with all this mayhem, Foynehaven has gone off on his own. He's about 50, 100 yards in front of everything else. They're all pulling up, having a look now to see what's happening at the fence. Ozzy is jumping over it now. Quinton Bay is climbing over it. And as they go now to the canal turn, well, the one that's going to the canal turn happens to be Foynehaven. And he's 100 yards in front of Turtle Lad, and then comes Packed Home, Quinton Bay and Ozzy together. Greek Scholar is next, and the mess is almost over now, as they're coming now to Valentine's. At least when I say they're coming, it's Foynehaven who's coming. And he is roughly 200 yards in front of everything else. Foynehaven, Ozzy is second, Packed Home is third, and then come Quinton Bay and Greek Scholar together over Valentine's. Well, the leader is at the fence ahead. That's Foynehaven, and over to Michael Seth Smith.
Well, this is the most incredible national. Foynehaven, I've never seen a horse at this stage of the race so far. He's going quite easily. He ran in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and we didn't think much of his chance there, but as he comes to the next, he's nearly a fence in front, and he jumps in, and he's jumping very well. This blinkered horse, Foynehaven, he's literally 200 yards in front of the second horse, who's Packed Home, and then comes Ozzy, and behind them Greek Scholar. Terry Biddlecombe trying to make up the ground, but Foynehaven's going so well, I don't think he can possibly be caught, but he jumped the next rather badly. He's still over 100 yards in front. Ozzy in second place. Terry Biddlecombe coming up, full of running on Greek Scholar, but they're a long way back. It's just a question of whether Foynehaven can maintain his lead, and as he goes over the Melling Road again at Anchor Bridge, he's still over 150 yards in front, with Terry Biddlecombe on Greek Scholar in second place, trying to get on terms. Ozzy third, Packed Home fourth, and with that, back to the grandstand.
Still a long way clear. Foynehaven, the only one that missed the melee at Beeches, with Greek Scholar chasing him now. Then comes Ozzy, then comes Packed Home. Honey End is finishing like a train just in behind him, and it's still Foynehaven a long way clear from Greek Scholar in second place. Ozzy is third, Honey End has now moved into fourth, and he's running on like a train behind him. But coming to the second last now, it's Foynehaven and John Buckingham. Blinkered Foynehaven a long way clear. Greek Scholar is second, Honey End is fourth. Coming to the second last in the National now, and Foynehaven is over. He's towering, but he's well clear. Greek Scholar and Honey End jumping together. Honey End's jumped in second. He's moved into second place now. Coming to the final fence, and Foynehaven a long way clear of Honey End in second place. Greek Scholar is third. It may still be a race. Honey End is still making ground, but Foynehaven is over and clear, about 150 yards ahead of Honey End, who's still driving on into second place. Third is Greek Scholar. Fourth is Red Alligator, who's finishing fast. Then comes Packed Home, but it's Foynehaven holding Honey End as they race towards the line. Foynehaven, the unconsidered outsider, and John Buckingham holding Josh Gifford on Honey End. Then comes Greek Scholar and Red Alligator. They're racing up towards the line now, and it's Foynehaven who missed that melee at Beeches, going well clear to a fantastic Grand National triumph. Honey End is second. Red Alligator's coming up to be third, and at the line John Buckingham looks over his shoulder, sees there's no danger, ears pricked. Foynehaven wins the national.
After we jumped off up to Beeches first time, they were going quite fast. I wanted to lay up a bit closer if I could, but I was always seen to be too far behind. And he was jumping so well, keeping his place all the way, you know. And after we jumped Beeches the second time, I was still going well in myself, but I didn't seem to have made up any ground, you see. And fence after that, everything seemed to stop in front of me. Well, I managed to pull onto the outside. I nearly got stopped by two loose horses, but he practically stopped to jump the fence, and after he jumped it, he just out on their own. I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful.
Did you get a clear view of what happened in front of you there?
Yes, I was quite a way behind after I jumped Beeches. And it seemed to me as if a couple had refused. I stopped two more and they turned sideways and everything seemed to pile into them.
Yeah.
Well, luckily enough, I was so far behind I could pull onto the outside, you see. And I just missed two loose horses, as I said, and just hobbled over it.
feel we're needed.
Gold Cup, one of the greatest steeplechases in the calendar. There are 13 runners, and they are getting ready now to race, and among them are Millhouse Gold Cup winner and Woodland Venture. So let's not waste any more time and have the Whitbread Gold Cup.
Woodland Venture with Biddlecombe riding. Incidentally, this race, for those of you who don't know, 3 miles, 5 furlongs, about 18 yards and 24 fences. Woodland Venture. 3 is Millhouse, ridden by Nicholson. And there is number 4, Watermyth, ridden by Kellaway. Kelsborough Wood, ridden by Hayne. 6, Capino, ridden by the only amateur, Mr. Nick Gaisley. 7 is Rondetto, ridden by King. 8, San Angelo, ridden by Buckingham, who rode the Grand National winner this year, Foynehaven. 9 is Solbina, ridden by Harty. 10, Lime King, ridden by Buckley. Number 12 is Maigret, ridden by Turnell, young Turnell, whose father trains Rondetto. 14 is Go Continental, ridden by Cook, J. Cook. 16 is La Ina, ridden by J. Speed Soot. And number 18 is Monarch's Thought, ridden by G. Cramp, and this one is carrying 5 pounds overweight. Nearly in line now. Rondetto coming up just behind the others on the inside, and they're up. 24 fences, racing up to the first. It's Kelsborough Wood and Monarch's Thought, the 2 leaders, from Solbina, Woodland Venture and Millhouse. They're all over the first, and now they come up to the open ditch in front of the stands. Monarch's Thought, just the leader, from Kelsborough Wood, Solbina, Woodland Venture, Millhouse, Go Continental and San Angelo. All over the second, and now they have 2 full circuits of the course to go. Woodland Venture, just the leader, from Millhouse, now up in second place. Then Monarch's Thought, rather, from Millhouse. Then Woodland Venture, Kelsborough Wood, followed by Solbina, Go Continental, La Ina, then San Angelo, Maigret and Capino, Lime King, Rondetto and Watermyth are the last 3. Monarch's Thought the leader as they go round the top turn. Millhouse in second place. Then Woodland Venture on the outside of Kelsborough Wood and Solbina. They've got a little over 3 miles to go, 22 more fences to jump. Monarch's Thought from Millhouse, Woodland Venture, then Solbina, Kelsborough Wood, Go Continental, La Ina and Capino, and then San Angelo, and they're running down now to the 3rd fence. Quite a steady pace at the moment. Oh, and a great jump there by Millhouse, takes him, he sails past Monarch's Thought. He must have gained 3 lengths at that fence. Rounding the bottom turn now, it's Millhouse going well within himself, leading from Monarch's Thought, who's now being pushed up again on the outside of Millhouse. Solbina is 3rd, then Woodland Venture, Kelsborough Wood, La Ina and San Angelo over the next, and Millhouse again gains ground from Monarch's Thought. And they're coming to the next fence. Millhouse measures it quite beautifully, and now to the second open ditch. Millhouse the leader. He sails over that with Solbina going up into second place, Woodland Venture third, then Monarch's Thought, Laina, San Angelo, Kelsborough Wood, Go Continental and Maigret, followed by Lime King, Capino, Rondetto and What a Myth as they go to the water jump for the first time. Millhouse leads from Solbina, Woodland Venture on the outside, Monarch's Thought between those two, then San Angelo, Kelsborough Wood, Laina and Go Continental. And now the three fences which come close together. Millhouse leads, jumping beautifully as they go on to the second of them. And again he measures it absolutely perfectly. Solbina in second place, Woodland Venture third, over the next. And it's Millhouse again, gaining ground at that fence. Just a useful little bit of ground he gains at those fences. And rounding the far turn now, it's Millhouse from Woodland Venture and Solbina together, then San Angelo. And the rest of the field bunched very closely up behind them. The whole field, in fact, as you can see, bunched very close together with a little over 2 miles to go and 14 more fences to jump. Coming to the next fence now, another plain fence, Millhouse on the inside, closely pressed by Solbina, Woodland Venture and Monarch's Thought on the outside. Millhouse over, just about a length clear of Solbina, then Woodland Venture, Kelsborough Wood close up on the inside, then San Angelo, Monarch's Thought and Laina on the outside, over what was the first fence. Millhouse, the leader. Racing up now to the open ditch in front of the stands for the second time. Millhouse from Solbina, Woodland Venture, San Angelo, Kelsborough Wood, Rondetto, nicely placed now on the inside. Beautiful jump there by Millhouse. It's a joy to watch as he sails over these fences, and the crowd applauding as the horses go past us now. They're most unusual, but they're getting a clap as they go past us. Millhouse just the leader and still going very, very easily, with Kelsborough Wood very close up on his inside, Solbina, Woodland Venture and Monarch's Thought well up on the outside, then San Angelo, Rondetto and Laina and Go Continental. What a Myth still at the back of the field. And now going round the top turn, Millhouse being given, I think, a little bit of a breather by Nicholson as he goes round the top turn, and now he's taken up the running again, but Woodland Venture is very close to him there. They've got 11 more fences to jump now, 11 more fences to jump, and Millhouse and Woodland Venture are together as they run down to this next fence. So Millhouse and Woodland Venture together, followed by Solbina, Rondetto close up on the inside. And Millhouse sailed over that one and gained a little bit of ground. Kelsborough Wood is going extremely well now, disputing second place with Woodland Venture, just about a length and a half behind Millhouse. And the pace really turned on now, with 10 fences to go, a mile and a quarter to run. It's Millhouse from Woodland Venture, Solbina, Kelsborough Wood and San Angelo. And then Rondetto, Laina, Capino, Go Continental and Lime King coming to the next fence now. Millhouse over from Woodland Venture in second place. San Angelo has gone third. Then Kelsborough Wood, Solbino, Capino, Star, Laina. And now they've 7 more fences. A mile to go, 7 more fences, the water jump and 6 plain fences. As they go to the water for the second and last time, Millhouse leads Woodland Venture by half a length. Millhouse over, Woodland Venture very close second. Then Kelsborough Wood, San Angelo, Capino, Solbina, Rondetto, Laina, Lime King and Go Continental. 6 fences to go. And Millhouse meets the first of those 3 fences beautifully. Woodland Venture dropped back a little bit. San Angelo has gone second. With 4 fences to go now, it's Millhouse just over a length clear of San Angelo. And he jumps that one well. Millhouse over from San Angelo second. Kelsborough Wood is third. Then Lime King and Woodland Venture together, followed by Capino, Laina, Rondetto, Go Continental and Solbina. 3 fences to jump, and it's Millhouse from San Angelo. Woodland Venture coming up again on the outside of those 2. Kelsborough Wood is close up there. Capino is well there. Rondetto is making up ground now. 3 fences to go. Millhouse and San Angelo with Woodland Venture pressing them on the outside. Capino running on very strongly now to dispute 4th place with Kelsborough Wood. coming to the third from home now, and it was Millhouse and San Angelo together. Millhouse just the leader from San Angelo as they turn for home with 2 fences to go. It's Millhouse coming on now from San Angelo, Kelsborough Wood, Woodland Venture and Capino into the second last. Millhouse over clear of San Angelo second, Kelsborough Wood third, Capino fourth, Woodland Venture fifth. Just 1 fence to go, and can Millhouse do it this time? He's well clear of San Angelo as they come to the last fence. And he's over it. Millhouse is over, well clear. He's only 150 yards to go, and it's Millhouse with Kelsborough Wood running on very strongly, and now Capino's coming, and San Angelo. But with 50 yards to go, Millhouse is keeping it up, and as they come up to the line, it's Millhouse the winner. Capino second, a close thing for third place between Kelsborough Wood and San Angelo. Millhouse the winner, Capino second, sure to be a photograph for third place, I think, between Kelsborough Wood and San Angelo. What a wonderful, magnificent performance that was. Anyhow, Millhouse, the winner, Capino second. Close thing, I don't know the answer yet, to third place between those two, San Angelo and Kelsborough Wood. And here comes the winner, getting the tremendous applause, I must say. This is really wonderful. Ken, have you ever seen a finer performance?
Absolutely wonderful, and so deserving, because he's been trying so hard, this horse, always breaking his heart against the super upper, and here at last he's coming to it, and what a cheer he gets. Just listen to those cheers. Very deserving. A spare of thought for Willie Robinson, who usually rides him. Dave Nicholson piloted brilliantly this afternoon in his absence.
Lisbon, Celtic versus Inter Milan in the final of the European Cup. If any British team could win this coveted trophy, it had to be Celtic. Inter Milan kicked off, and in a continental near heatwave, maybe the odds were a shade against Celtic. And a fat lot the Scottish heroes and their 15,000 supporters cared about that. Attack is the policy that's won the Glasgow Idols everything this year, except the English Cup, for which they weren't qualified to compete. An early Inter Milan attack found Simpson on the alert. Celtic counter-attacked, coming within an ace of taking the lead. Inter Milan looked really dangerous here. Capellini was brought down by Craig, a penalty. With the spot kick, Mazzola made no mistake. This was where Celtic showed the all-round attacking greatness that made them invincible this season on every big occasion. Second half, Celtic still a goal down in spite of having had 90% of the game so far. They continued piling on the pressure, believing the reward must come before long. The Italians had the luck of old Harry this time. Then fullback Tommy Gemmell shot from 25 yards out. Gemmell's brilliant goal didn't put new heart into Celtic. The old one was good enough to beat anybody. And how their supporters thanked their stars they'd come to Lisbon. But somehow, Inter's defence held firm. Barely 7 minutes from time came the winning goal. Chalmers deflected Murdoch's shot past Sati. That was how Celtic became the first ever British team to win the European Cup. Billy McNeill and his magnificent men earned the thanks and admiration of their native Glasgow, Scotland, and the whole United Kingdom. Flat Racing gave an official blessing to starting stalls. They were well padded and designed to give the high metal thoroughbreds comfort and confidence. The sport of kings has got along without stalls for nearly 300 years, but the old way was always a bit dicey, as this flashback to the 1965 Derby illustrates. Nerves at the tapes, not to mention a few kicks, could put a horse well behind the field with the race hardly begun. In America, stalls are standard practice. Every horse has an equal chance at the off. These starts give punters no grievance. Back to Newmarket to see how they're getting on there. The experiment was watched with interest by the chief steward, the Duke of Norfolk. Temperamental creatures, racehorses. Seeing the stalls naturally made some a little jittery. Humorists said the 2 o'clock wouldn't get started till 4:30. Most of the runners realize by now that you can't resist change, and it was rather ambitious to launch the season's experiment with so large a field. One filly certainly had a mind of her own. Another refused completely and was withdrawn from the race. Nearly ready for the push-button start as the last reluctant heroine, hooded to soothe her nerves, went into the stall. As good a start as anybody could wish.
It crashed over there. Come on, let's go take a look.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
It's just a plain old meteorite. Come on.
No, Will Robinson. Danger.
Space debris. It's just old space junk, isn't it?
It would seem that way.
And why were you warning me?
Intensely heated objects are extremely dangerous. Undue curiosity will usually produce severely burned fingers.
Burned fingers. Some danger. Well, let's get back to camp. We'll leave our equipment here and come back tomorrow and look for more rocks.
Doing anything particular, nurse?
No, sir.
Good, because I'm in urgent need of some rather specialized...
Merlis is just the leader from Pierre in second place. Then comes Lacker and Fix the Dates and Paulie Girl finishing fast on the far side. Then comes World racing up the hill, and it's Fleet from Pierre. Lacker in third place. Coming up to the line, and Fleet is the leader from Pierre. St. Paulie Girl on the far side. And it's George Moore and Freddie Head fighting it out. As they race up towards the line, it's Cash Do on the stand side. World Palace. And up the line, World Palace is the winner.
Tony Jacklin, 4 under par.
Oh, it's in the hole!
My word. And that is the first time it's ever happened on live television.
Champion, and a real one indeed. And I just wonder how far he's going to go in this game. He says he wants to win the other championships. He might be thinking of turning pro.
Here comes John Newcombe. There's the trophy going back to Australia. And there's very warm applause indeed for Wilhelm Bungert. First time Germans played in the final since Gottfried von Cram.
Northern Dancer's entry into breeding was a turning point in the history of the thoroughbred. Suddenly, people were talking millions for one horse.
3 million pounds, here we go.
Collectively, his offspring would sell for an estimated $100 million. Not a bad return.
At 3 million 5, 3 million 60, one of a 3 million 5 and sold into your buyer.
His stud fees soared to $1 million. Northern Dancer sired 146 stakes winners. His influence was felt over the entire planet. He was the patriarch of the modern thoroughbred. Then, when he was 20, a Parisian agency, Horse France, offered $40 million for him.
They loved that horse so much, they revered the horse because of the number of champions that he had thrown. They thought Northern Dancer was the greatest.
The Taylors did not want to sell, but to savor their dream. They could feel this legend in the making.
Epsom Downs, where the lure of the Derby drew close on 500,000 lovers of racing, to see if hot favourite Royal Palace would oblige his supporters and win the greatest flat race on earth. Well fancied for at least a place, Royal Sword, indifferent to anything in the shape of a hat. Another with many admirers, Belted. Hang On, a trier but unlikely to upset form forecasts. Hell of a Fella and Tapis Rose. The Royal Standard proclaimed that the Queen was at Epsom, and in the paddock she came to see the runners at close quarters. Like daughter, like mother. Both the royal ladies very knowledgeable on the subject of racehorses. The appearance of the jockeys indicated that the great event of the day would soon begin, one of them destined to achieve the highest ambition and be winner of the Derby. Privy Seal, an outsider, B. Raymond Duff. Great Host from Ireland, trained by Paddy Prendergast, showed Epsom nerves and was not to be pacified until the French champion rider Yves Saint-Martin was securely in the saddle. Easier said than done. Starry Halo, quoted at 20-1, Frank Doer up. For the first time ever, starting stalls were used in the Derby. That conservative animal, the racehorse, doesn't take kindly to innovation. For some time, it was a battle of wills, horse versus man. Great Pleasure didn't like it at all. They had to calm him by letting him out and having another try. The official starter, Mr. Alec Marsh, was at last satisfied that all 22 runners were in. The off was only seconds away. The going was perfect, firm but not hard, with plenty of grass. Conditions favoured the better class horses. The best of all, Royal Palace. Impossible here to predict the winner as the field approached Platinum Corner. As they swung round, the dream horse El Mighty had the lead, though good race readers noted that Australian jockey George Moore had Royal Palace nicely placed. In the last 2 furlongs, Royal Palace demonstrated his superclass, taking the lead on the inside, though challenged by the 22-1 Roboco, Lester Piggott in the saddle. It was now that George Moore proved that on this year's form, he is the world's greatest jockey. On the outside, Roboco couldn't catch Royal Palace as that great horse went on to win. That wonderful finish, with Royal Palace, as predicted, bringing home the odds, made it the most popular derby for years. Victor in the Guineas, and now the Derby. It only needs the Ledger to make Royal Palace winner of the Triple Crown.
They say London swings. It doesn't. Not even the King's Road Chelsea. But here and there among the conformist fat cat crowds is a lean cat or two, looking like it might swing, given some encouragement. And in among the chain stores and supermarkets is here and there a shop that may have something all its own to say. To the character who can send up a mass production car. To people who can put living before a living. World's End means where the King's Road ends, which shows what the King's Roaders think of themselves. Granny Takes a Trip, the shop behind the face calls itself, and it's typical of the non-typical, conforming to the non-conformist image of the inn, what they used to call way out, and before that with it, and before that groovy, and before that hep, and what Granny herself would have called the very latest thing, my dear.
Why does Spock call you Captain? Were you in the war together?
We served together.
And you, don't want to talk about it? Why? Did you do something wrong? Are you afraid of something? Whatever it is, let me help.
Let me help. 100 years or so from now, I believe, a famous novelist will write a classic using that theme. He'll recommend those 3 words even over I love you.
Centuries from now. Who is he? Where does he come from? Where will he come from?
Silly question. Want to hear a silly answer?
Yes.
A planet circling that far left star in Orion's belt. See?
If you want to feel my embrace, don't you ever wash your face. If you really care for me, don't you comb your hair for me. If you want to leave me weak and weepy, you gotta look wild and weird and creepy. Yeah.
The colour, all set for the Irish Derby, and all set for a great win, Roboco, Lester Piggott's mount. Jackie Kennedy set a high note of fashion. But while she was hatless, it was obvious that headgear in a variety of shapes, sizes and styles was a prominent feature of most ladies' outfits. But behind every hat there was bound to be a husband's thinner wallet. Well, this was the time and place for trying to get their money back. 23 top-class entries representing Ireland, Britain and France gave the punters plenty to think about. But Roboco was carrying the main bulk of bets as 5-2 favourite. Tension mounted as the start of the richest Irish race near it. They were off. Ahead 1.5 miles of hard racing with a prize of almost £58,000 for the winner. And what a race it turned out to be. Zuccarello had the lead, but coming fast in the expert hands of Lester Piggott was Roboco. With a superbly timed challenge, Roboco closed the gap. He was scorching along. Zuccarello couldn't hold him. That was it. Ribocco had won from Succaril. A great race for the pint-sized winner and a superb ride by Lester Pickett. Certainly an Irish Sweeps derby that will go down as one of the most exciting.
I'm here to fulfill a function this particular time round, one which I revel in and glory in, that of introducing the next group, who are my favorites because of long-standing friendships with individuals, as well as I like the music. I'd like you to welcome now, with a great big fat round of applause, my favorite group, the Buffalo Springfield.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Come on, Evan. There's a man with a gun nowhere telling me I got to beware. I think it's time to stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody wrong. Young people speaking their mind, getting so much resistance from behind. We got to stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat down there. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and they carrying signs, mostly saying hooray for our side. Now we got to stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look, it's going down. Strikes into your life, it will starts when you're always afraid. Step out right, the man come on and take you away. You got to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey,
Ascot, where men take second place and the horses are hardly mentioned. For this is a woman's world, a place of high fashion for My Fair Lady, where cameramen tread softly and commentators rarely need to speak. And to grace the splendid scene, the Queen and other members of the royal family arrive.
Heartbeats speeding up. I have never been so keyed up. Any second now, they'll begin to run. On the bell is ringing, they are springing forward. Look, it
Almost incidental to the scene, the racing.
very calm, but oh so very English. Her Majesty and the Duke of Norfolk made their way to the paddock. Even the jockeys' racing colours couldn't outshine the dazzling displays of Ascot's fair ladies. Some really were interested in the racing. She couldn't have seen much of it. While the lovely ladies paraded, a few noticed that there was also racing, with winners for some, but not all. For others, well, this was Ascot after all. And so the horses ran, the ladies paraded. And perhaps for once, the old groaner really had something to groan about. Maybe not. It's hard to be blue at Ascot.
Good afternoon. This is the Barrel Gang. Now, if everybody will just take it easy, nobody will get hurt. Is that your money or the bank's?
Mine.
All right. You keep it then. Next time I'll aim a little lower. All right.
Take a good look, Pop. I'm Buck Barrel.
For the Barrel Boys! Happy birthday, hon! It was the Barrel Gang, Charlie. I think they was headed for Oklahoma.
There I was, staring square into the face of death. And all I can say is, they did right with me, and I'm bringing me a mess of flowers to their funeral.
Oh, come on. Let's catch him anyway. I ain't gonna risk my life in Oklahoma.
Verführte das deutsche Derby in Hamburg zur Entfaltung der neuesten modischen Eitelkeiten. Bei tropischer Hitze trafen sich 30.000, unter ihnen einige Pferdekenner am Turf. ...15 Reiter drängeln nach dem ersten Fehlstart noch einmal um ihre Position, aber nur 14 gehen ins Rennen. Königsulan aus dem Gestüt Röttgen verschläft den Start. Sofort macht Außenseiter Sommerregen unter Jockey Drechsler die Pace, dicht hinter ihm Scheibenschütze und Favorit Luciano unter Lester Piggott. Im Hornerbogen wittert Englands Meisterjockey auf Luciano Nummer 7 seine Chance. Aus günstiger Position stößt er an die Spitze des Feldes. Der hochgewettete Luciano verteidigt seine Führung gegen seine Stallgefährten Norfolk und Presto, Position 3. Mit 1,5 Längen Vorsprung holt sich Luciano das blaue Band, die wertvollste Trophäe dreijähriger Vollblüter. Unter den Augen eines prominenten Pferdeliebhabers überreicht Hamburgs Bürgermeister Weichmann dem Besitzer des belgischen Rennstalles Primrose den Ehrenpreis und so ganz nebenbei und am Rande 100.000 Mark.
Crest raced up the red-handed at the furlong bullish and starting to weaken. With the white cap getting through in the centre was Pad the Way coming hard, and there's the one with the white blaze. Watch it, Floodbird going into 4th place. At the half furlong, Red Crest in front, but now red-handed giving plenty draws to Red Crest. Taylor about to go for the whip on Red Crest, but it's red-handed's cup. Red-handed scores by a neck.
Great Wembley. Not long ago, the focal point for world soccer. Now the setting for the greatest prize of English football, the FA Cup. This year, a Cockney Cup final. Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur, two brilliant London teams. Outside, those without a hope of getting in. Inside, 100,000 let out the Wembley roar. Spurs went straight into the attack. Chelsea quickly replied. Charlie Cook surged down the right wing. Into the middle, but the safe hands of Jennings collected easily. Now it was the turn of Tottenham wonderboy Greaves. Gilzine was with him. It spelt danger for Chelsea. No luck for Saul that time. McCready for Chelsea. His upfield clearance found Hollins. A great try, and what a save. From the corner, it was Jennings who again took Spurs out of danger. Both teams are playing steady football, often with flashes of brilliance. Far better than many critics had predicted. Notable for Chelsea was Cook. He rattled Jennings with that one. But Spurs had the edge. Mullery's shot hit a defender. Robertson was perfect for the rebound. "45 minutes gone, Spurs 1 goal ahead. Bad for Chelsea. The interval robbed them of the chance to strike back while the iron was hot. And Chelsea felt it, but it was only 1 goal, and both teams looked serious as they went off at half-time. Let's relive that first half through some of the faces in the crowd. The faces of Wembley. As the second half began, Robertson's goal had its effect on both teams. Spurs bent on increasing their lead, Chelsea on drawing level and going ahead themselves. Chelsea had a more determined look about them now than just before the interval. A centre from the right, and Haitley's header went just over. The least experienced man in the Tottenham side, young Joe Kinnear, played like a man inspired. His shot here deflected for the corner. Greaves took the kick, only for Chelsea to turn danger into attack. Eddie McCready's header gave Jennings little trouble. Again, and decisively as it turned out, the sheer class of Tottenham Hotspur showed itself. From Robertson's header, Frank Saul shot into the net. It might have been another for Spurs, but Greaves' shot was brilliantly saved. On came Chelsea now. Baldwin to Hateley, but still no luck. A few minutes before the end, Chelsea got a goal. Boyle centred, Tambling headed in. But for Chelsea, time had run out. They failed to get the equaliser. Spurs 2, Chelsea 1 at the final whistle. Great players and great sportsmen, London's old rivals had given the 100,000 at Wembley a final to be long remembered. Cup winners' medals were waiting up there for Tottenham Hotspur. And once again, the last hurdle had proved too much for Chelsea. To a very proud Dave Mackay, the Duke of Kent presented the trophy, which in the whole field of sport is surely the most coveted, the FA Cup. Dave Mackay was in Spurs' cup-winning team in 61, again in 62, and here he was for the third time, and that despite a twice broken leg. The fans have good reason to call him the Iron Man. Mike England, the man Tony Hateley couldn't master. Jimmy Greaves and Alan Gilzine, a great combination. Chelsea's year is bound to come before long. Jimmy Greaves, left out of the World Cup, now back on top of the world. Joe Kinnear and Jim Robertson. Alan Mullery, always an original, one for the pot. Finally, inspiration of the side, Dave Mackay, captain of cup-winning Tottenham Hotspur.
Straight now, 3.5 furlongs to go, and it's still Great Nephew over on the far rails there. Fleet close up behind on the rail. Jolly Jet is well there. Sodium coming through in the centre of the field now. Chinwag and Kedge trying to come up on the outside. Busted making good progress on the inside. 2.5 furlongs to go, and it's Great Nephew from Fleet, Jolly Jet, Busted, Sodium and Chinwag. With 1.5 furlongs to go, it's still Great Nephew from Fleet, and now Busted is coming up there. And as they come up to the final furlong, it's Great Nephew and Busted from Fleet, and those three have drawn right away from Jolly Jet and Appiana. Inside the last furlong now, and it's Busted coming on to win the race. With 100 yards to go, it's Busted from Great Nephew, Fleet and Appiana. 25 yards to go, and it's Busted clear. At the post, Busted is the winner. Great Nephew second, and a very close thing for third place between Appiani and Fleet.
Making history at a point-to-point near Aldershot, Mrs. Sally Wainwright and Miss Mackenzie. They're the first women to ride against men in a point-to-point. A new rule now permits jockeys of both sexes to compete. Sally Wainwright on Knockout Bane, the favourite, leading on the first circuit. Only 4 horses in the race. But then Knockout Bane went wide, and Bombardier Saint, riding his own horse, Star Dip, led to the post. Miss Mackenzie fell right out of the picture, but Sally Wainwright was able to make third place. Not a very impressive introduction to the new rule, but a beginning all the same.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
And Josh Gifford and Charlie Worcester over. Arctic Sunset over next. Border Grace in third place, and it's Josh Gifford, the champion, coming away for another win on Charlie Worcester. Up the hill now. He's got it in his hand, in his pocket, I think. He's only got 100 yards to go. Charlie Worcester still running on in the lead. In second place, it's going to be Arctic Sunset. Border Grace is going to be third. Capino fourth on the line. Charlie Worcester a winner.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else but not for me. Our love was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams, and I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. Oh, I'm a believer, yeah, I'm a believer, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm a believer, I'm a believer, I'm a believer, not a doubt in my
There's a huge crowd at Caulfield for the $40,000 Caulfield Cup. Top-weight Tobin bronze with 9 stone 10 carries a fortune of the public's money. Americans W. Brilliant and I. M. Litz have bought Tobin bronze for about $400,000, and this is his first start for his new owners. The champion leads the field out, probably for the last time in Australia. Feel the tension as the big field gets away. 20 horses racing to take up a good early position. The fancied horses are drawn wide and the race is rough as jockeys try to get over to the rails. The lightly weighted Roman Consul and Great Exploits force their way to the front. Tobin bronze is well placed, and as they go round the back of the course is lying 5th. Limit has gone to the front from Roman Consul. Nearing the home turn now, Limit is still in front, but jockey Johnson is moving Tobin bronze forward quickly. Padthaway and Garçon are up there too. Now Tobin bronze is clear, but watch Red-Handed finishing brilliantly in the centre of the track with Garçon running on well. It's Tobin Bronze in front, red-handed flashing home, but Tobin Bronze wins by a neck. And what an ovation he gets. The 5-to-1 favourite has won 23 races from 43 starts. Today's Cup raises his stake winnings to more than $162,000. Now his proud American owners receive the coveted Caulfield Cup. Tobin Bronze now goes to America to race in the $134,000 Washington International. One of the best Australian racehorses of all time, and a big win to cap a great career.
Hunters in the capital and all over the country are still having a flutter. Foot and mouth disease doesn't affect computers. So the Sport of Kings went into the realms of amps and ohms for the Computer Gold Cup. Information about the 19 runners' recent form was fed in, plus a random element and details of the course and jumps. The machines worked out the odds and got set for the off. They were under starters' orders. All circuits were go at the University of London's electronic winter meeting, and they were off. As they raced round the 2.5-mile transistor track, the computer gave yard-by-yard details on how the race was going. We hand over to Peter O'Sullivan to take up the running.
Ordered race, Capino, French March, Roddy Beef, Irish Rover, Fitzcard, First Audition, Lime King, Val Midas.
Nearing the winning post, and back to Peter for the result.
The winner, Arctic Sunset, second Mazzo, and third San Angelo.
Of telling tales and biting nails are gone, but in my mind I know they will still live on and on. But how do you thank someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume? It isn't easy, but I'll try. If you wanted the sky, I would ride across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high to serve with love. The time has come for closing books, and long last looks must end. And as I leave, I know that I am leaving my best friend, a friend who taught me right from wrong and weak from strong. That's a lot to learn. What can I give you in return? If you wanted the moon, I would try to make a start, but I would rather you let me give my heart to serve with love.